What's going on, guys? D. Anthony here with Evolution Traders. In this video, I kind of want to do a little bit of a strategy recap with an open kind of brainstorm journal, right? Like a diary. Like maybe if you were trading the NASDAQ 100 today, maybe you were working on a futures prop firm account, maybe an evaluation, maybe you're in a new fresh funded account, maybe you're trading futures, personally. Let's kind of go over the market. Let's go over some of the trades that I personally seen based on the way that I trade and some of the setups that I like to look for. Where could some areas of interest have been? Maybe, while I'm kind of back testing, you can kind of go back in your trading today and see, where did you see things wrong? Or, maybe I might open the door to seeing other things that maybe potentially you didn't see, right? So if we kind of look at the start of the market open, I'm going to draw like just a little line here. Let me draw just a little line here so we know which is the opening candle. So right off the bats, we kind of immediately shot up. And I know there's a lot of people who wanted to kind of get into that first opening range candle on that 5-minute time frame, because the market has essentially been giving you a little bit of a range if you are a scalper, right? So if you're one of these scalpers that's going to scalp momentum and you're kind of looking at the previous, 5-minute candle or 1-minute candle, you're looking at that little bit of an opening kind of push, you can definitely have gotten in here. I mean, if you kind of just look at where we took out the previous 2 or 3 candles, you had a little bit of an entry over the 933s, and then that went all the way up to 960. So again, if you're one of these scalpers that's going with a little bit of more heavier size and you're looking to take 4 points, 5 points, 6 points, 7 points, you can definitely find those moves in there. And be a type of trader where, you essentially got in on that first 5-minute candle. And by the time everyone else is kind of looking at the computer screens, wondering where to get in or potentially waiting for some type of confirmation, you're sitting back with your hands up and telling, yourself, I'm done for the day, right? So when you look at that, it all comes down to what type of trader are you, right? So when you really think about it, it comes down to what's your personality style. So for me, I like to trade the lower time frames. I've traded the 2-minute before. I trade the 5-minute a lot. That's probably my bread and butter. And I kind of match that up with some supply and demand on the 1-hour chart and so forth and so forth. But sometimes a 5-minute chart is not fitting for you because maybe you're looking for quicker moves. Maybe you necessarily don't have the patience or the discipline. Now, it's not to knock anyone who trades smaller time frames, because you can definitely find the pocket there if you can control that type of volatility and those type of upswings on those wicks and stuff, even the 30-second chart, the 1-minute chart. So it's to each his own, but just understand your risk management first off, right? That's the most important thing that you want to do, is understanding that risk management. You never want to get into where you're going on tilt mode and, you take a couple of losing trades doing these, I call them hyper scalps, and you're taking these hyper scalps on a smaller time frame, sub 1 minute, and tend to like unravel, right? So again, let's just kind of go on with the price action. For me personally, one trade that I did take, I can kind of highlight here, is as soon as we closed below this 20-day moving average, I was looking for a little bit of some sell pressure as long as we didn't break that opening range high here on that 5-minute time frame. But if you notice this little black line here, I know it's a little bit faint, but I like it that way for my eyes because I don't want a bunch of different bright lines on my screen all at once. I kind of want a little bit of a cleaner chart when I'm trading. Now, some of you guys may have seen my chart where I've got all my moving averages on there. I definitely use that as a point of reference, but I definitely do not day trade on that. I want a little bit more of a cleaner chart when I'm day trading, and then I kind of reference that on another screen, and it's, a screen that's not being featured here on this video. But if you notice this 20-period moving average breakdown, we got a couple of wicks that are down here. All I'm looking for in a situation like this is a confirmation of this previous low. So at 655, I take my first trade. Now, one thing that I am keeping in mind, because we do have VWAP sitting right here, is if we do springboard back up over and get over this 20 SMA, I'm probably likely to get out of the trade, because that could be, a little bit of a trap that I was, a part of. So as long as we stay below this 20 SMA and we stay below my entry here, I'm okay with that. And when we closed below the VWAP, and I'll draw just a little line here and I'll take this off so it's not too messy, but when we close below VWAP here on this big red candle, I added to my position. So when I added to my position, what that means is, I started the trade with 2 contracts on the micro side, and I quickly went up to 5. And the reason why I went up to 5 is because I wanted to, take part in that momentum, because again, when you really think about scalping, you think about, you know, even short-term day trading or hyper scalping, all you're realistically looking to do is find areas of entry based on your process and your system, and you're looking to go with the momentum, but you want to be dynamic enough to where you do use that intuition and you see these other areas of structure or these other areas of supply or demand, or, you know, even just reading the tape and reading the price action, where if you do have a bad feeling, you can just quickly exit the trade. So again, I always try to target around a 1-to-1 on my trades. But again, with trading, and especially trading something as powerful as the NASDAQ, you can definitely, you can definitely get caught with the pants around the ankles when this thing starts to go against you. So again, if I feel that the trade is not working in my favor anymore, I'll quickly cut it. And, let's say I'm looking for a 20-point move. If I don't feel that I'm getting that momentum, and I'm getting that momentum as fast as I need it to come, and it's up 12, 13, 14 points, I'll cut the trade just to at least lock in that profit and kind of reanalyze, reset myself. So again, this was the first trade that I did partake in. Now, once we did put in this low here, you can see us moving back up towards VWAP. There was a little bit of a trade here. I didn't take this trade, but again, I just want to bring different setups to your eyes. If you are that scalper and you are looking for those little short pops, those momentums, as soon as you get back over VWAP, you'll notice that this 20-period moving average is going to act as an area of resistance, as an area of supply. But the top of this wick here is 16,906. So let's say, for example, you're waiting for this 720 PST candle to confirm the candle that closes over your 20 SMA. You can definitely get in here and ride this into the VWAP, which is sitting at 916. So from a price of 906, 907 to 916 is 10 points. So again, I want you guys to think in real time. Can you make money on 10 points? Sure, if you're taking 4, 5, 6 contracts, you're taking one mini contract, you can definitely make money very, very quickly, have a clear entry, a clear out. Now, if I was looking for continuation, because a play that I would look to take would be a break over the play that over the price action that closes over the VWAP and the 20 SMA, but you can see that never happens. It quickly reverses on this candle here. Now notice it does take a few candles before this does confirm, but typically with me, I like to see the preceding candle or the candle right after that kind of confirm the price point that closes back below the 20 SMA, and in this case the VWAP as well. It doesn't really get there, so there's no trade for me. However, I did partake in this trade here that gets back over VWAP as well as the 20 SMA. Now again, if you kind of look at this range here, it's a 23-point range. I did not hold for the full 23 points because again, as this day is starting to populate, I noticed that we're not really breaking out to the high side. We're not really putting in a low side. So what I don't want to do is, be a trader who's kind of just, well, my strategy says I need a 1-to-1 and I need a 1-to-1, right? But there's still trading opportunities and there's still areas for me to make a little bit of money at a time. So if I go into contracts and I'm able to take 5, 10, 15 points off that, if I can do that relatively quickly, I can kind of stack up those wins, stack up those P&Ls, and just keep the train moving, right? Keep the train moving. So with that, we see we have a little bit of a breakdown here. I went into this one, pretty full size. Full size for me on my evaluation account that I'm trading right now is going to be 5 micro contracts. As soon as we get that close below the VWAP and the 20 SMA, I take the confirmation candle here and take this for a nice ride all the way down, because I've got this lower VWAP support sitting down here, sitting at around 16,823. So once you start to get the momentum and you start to get that flush, you can definitely, start to either scale in or scale out for profits. So again, the last trade that I was involved in was this big trade here. Now, again, this trade took a long time to get going. I only took 20 points off of it. It ended up going for a 1-to-1 at a 57-point range. So again, I don't like to sit that long in these trades. I generally like to see them move a little bit quicker. But again, I was able to take a quick 20 points off that, scaled in a little bit more to that trade once we broke over the VWAP. And then once we started to confirm, you want to have those feels for the market. So think of a trader as a professional athlete. You have the basic fundamentals, you have the basic knowledge, but you also can be dynamic. You also want to be an athlete, right? So again, I just think back to, my playing days, and I didn't play at a high level of any sort, but I just think back, when I did play sports, when I was a lot more competitive on the athletic side, I would always think, I just want to be a gamer. I just want to be a player. I just want to be in the game. So when you think about that in that kind of perspective, you definitely want to win. You definitely want to protect yourself, but you also want to be dynamic, right? So you have a plan. As long as you're going to stick to that plan, it's okay to deviate from that plan a little bit if it's in your favor. Now, you don't want to deviate from your plan when it's moving stop losses lower or maxing out your size when it's way too big for your account size. Those are deviations that you don't want to do. But taking a little profit early because you feel that it's the right spot to take it off of, or cutting a loss a little bit early because you don't just like the trade period altogether, or kind of finding these little areas of entries where you can just make 5 points here, 10 points here. Those are all fine deviations if you can do that and you can consistently be profitable. So I just wanted to give a rundown and kind of give a little brainstorm on how I kind of was reading the market today. Maybe it helps you, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I was in some of the same trades that you were in, and that's going to kind of validate some of your setups. And maybe I brought some light to, looking at some setups that you necessarily didn't see. And now maybe you can kind of look for. With that being said, make sure to give me a like, comment, and subscribe. Again, the more likes I get, the more I can get these videos out in front of more traders. That's ultimately my goal, is just kind of to spread, the knowledge that I know and kind of pass along, my brainstorm, my thoughts to everyone else, because maybe it might help you, right? So if it does, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and I'll catch all of you guys on the next video.